Babe, I really respect that you want to get into the spirit of Halloween and watch all these crazy movies, but I don't really like scary stuff. Hello and welcome to another issue of October, which of course is H-N-A-H, Horror Needs a Hero, and October is for October, the month of Halloween. Some of you might be in a new relationship or a new friendship where you have somebody who perhaps doesn't like horror movies, but maybe they want to take part in the festivities. I am here to try to give you a list of movies that you might have a healthy compromise with. If they're nice enough to try and do this for you, ease them into it. Do the right thing, people. Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. I mean, back then it was really scary, but this movie inspired so much that I don't think you could have watched anything on television in the last 10 years that hasn't had some teeny tiny sort of inspiration from this movie. And above all else, this is something you just kind of need to watch. It's not that scary. I don't even think there's anything like jump scares or anything like that. It's just, give it a try. If you can't make it, then I'm wrong. Let me know down below. CP, you're wrong. This part scared the shit out of me. But you know, you just, especially if you're in a relationship where you're gonna be with somebody who loves horror, you need to watch this. You just have to have knowledge of this. That's it. Next on the list, Saw. I know some of you are like, CP, what the fuck are you talking about? This is not a scary movie. This is gory. So if you have a problem with gore, do not go near this. I have a bunch of friends who don't like scary movies but watch Walking Dead. Walking Dead is gory. This, not scary, gory. We'll be talking about a movie that this stemmed from later on, but yeah, really good twist ending. Above all else, this is the first one, remember that. So, yeah, a mystery movie of sorts, a thriller with a really, if you're getting through the gore, this is a good step, and you know, the twist ending pays you off. If you're watching Walking Dead, then this is something that shouldn't be that hard to watch. 28 days later, Danny Boyle himself has said that it's not meant to be a zombie movie, it's not meant to be a scary movie. The director himself said he didn't want it to be that way. I mean, there's 2 or 3, you know, scenes where something happens, and if I could give you one small piece of advice to take with you, the non-horror fan who's worried about being scared, when the music cuts out, something's gonna happen. I mean, it's ultra predictable these days. Usually it used to be, you know, they would lower the music and kind of jump out and hit you, but now it's just so predictable. Jump scares are, if it's awfully quiet, awfully dark, something's gonna happen. This is for the zombie freaks, a sickness and not zombies, but it all depends. I would use something else that I'll talk about later over this, but maybe this would be number 2. We're going 10-1, so just shut up. Buried. Very good movie. I am giving you the CP guarantee. No jump scares. 0. Just have a couple of moments of, now what's he gonna do? This is more about tension. This is more about anxiety. It's a guy who's locked in a box. He's got a lot to try to figure out in a very little time. This is not about horror. This is people who like, you know, tense movies, anxiety-driven movies. This is just, you know, it won't evoke horror. It'll evoke tension, anxiety. This is even a borderline movie for the month, but folks, if the person's trying to do one right by you, then I would count this in my book. Predator. Call it an action movie all you want. It's a stalk and kill movie. So this is really good because of the way it's presented. It's presented like an action movie. I mean, shit, it's Schwarzenegger in a horror movie. Shh. don't tell anybody that it's actually a horror movie because Schwarzenegger won't admit that. It's a stalk and kill movie dressed as an action movie.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
So if you have somebody who likes action movies and you want to ease them in, shit, and if you want to be a dick about it, don't even tell them that you're doing this for the sake of Halloween. Just put this movie in. And once they finish watching it, go, oh, by the way, you like that? Well, here's Friday the 13th because it's kind of the same. Just imagine Kevin Bacon as Arnold Schwarzenegger. The Guest. I don't know what to say about The Guest. This again, horror type elements in a film that isn't really a horror movie. This is more like The Hitcher. I would see somebody going from this to The Hitcher. I mean, there's different genres of horror, and you can take certain steps from this movie. And from The Guest, I would see somebody going right to The Hitcher and then figuring out your path from there. But this is a very good movie. It's liked by a lot of people. It's a total cult movie, but it's gaining steam. And go ahead, show your significant other or your friend this movie and get it some more people to like it. Talked about it 2 days ago. Final Destination. What people usually have a problem with horror movies is either gore or the being scared aspect. The being scared aspect gets wiped out because you're not being chased by anyone and you see the thing that's gonna happen come from a mile away. But again, to ease somebody into horror, not a bad movie because you get the telegraphing of what's gonna happen. Like, oh, okay, that's gonna do that, and then that's gonna do that, and that's gonna kill him because it's hanging over his head, and now it's gonna do that. And if they like this, if they're right with this, choose your next step carefully, and you could definitely ease a person into horror from here. Folks, here, watch this. Here's a comedy. They'll watch it, they'll laugh, they'll have a great time, and they just watched a really good zombie movie. You want to argue with me? Is it a bad zombie movie? It's a comedy it's a great zombie movie that's really funny. So for the zombie folks, shit, Edgar Wright did you a solid. This movie is hysterical. It does right by so many different people. Comedy genre, horror genre, zombie genre. This movie will win fans. At the very least, if people aren't watching Walking Dead with you, you can get them to watch it after watching this. Cronenberg's The Fly, another movie that's more, just gore than anything. If you ease them into really creepy, gory stories, then the rest is really quite easy. And this is just a really good movie. Like, there's some movies that are just really good movies, and the next one I'm going to talk about, you just watch it because it's really good. It's not scary. Just ease them in. Ease them in with something like this. And again, choose your next step carefully. Lastly, but not leastly, again, not really scary. Actually, there is one jump scare in this movie if you think about it. People have seen it, bedtime. There's that jump scare. But, it's worth it. And again, twist endings really, that's what horror is about. Horror is built on twist endings. They go for that last gasp. And this, top 3 endings ever. I don't know many people who haven't seen this, but if they haven't and they're kind of leery about horror, kill 2 birds, 1 stone. Here you go. There's the list, guys. Do me a favor, comment down below and let me know if there are any other segue movies that you would list. Also, if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Be sure and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Keep an eye out to both me and Drum Dum's channel for the month of October. And otherwise, we'll see you next time and have a day.